First of all, the news that Greg Lewis and Tommy O'Sullivan have gone back. Just a thought process there.
Yeah, I think it was at a time when Ben Williamson got injured at Barnsley. Louis Dodds fractured his toe. Originally, they were both out for a longer term than what they eventually were. So I needed cover. Tommy O'Sullivan I knew about from working with him with the Welsh under-21s. Know that he's got fantastic football brain quality on the ball. I knew he could add to the squad. Knew he had to be patient. You weren't going to come in and replace him straight away. And Greg was more or less a bit of a gamble really, because 2 months ago he's playing non-league football. We recognised that Hull have seen something in him. Brought him in and was really impressed with him. So as frustrating as it was for them, they probably didn't get as many minutes on the pitch that they wanted. They knew that they were going to have to come in and be patient. But no, we used them for the month that we had them. I know they've moved on and gone back to their parent clubs.
So is that what you think, then? It's fair to them now that they're not really going to get much game time here with your squad virtually fully fit? It's fair to them to let them go back? Is that your thought process?
Yeah, I'm sure they'd rather be back at their parent club and maybe looking to get out on loan again. That's going to guarantee them games, as opposed to coming into us and maybe getting involved in the squad. When you've got people like Dodgy coming back fit, Colin Daniel now fit, Ben Williamson not out for as long as anticipating coming back fit. You're not going to play them, certainly the form they were going into before they had the injuries.
So I know a few people, when they saw the news pop up that they'd gone back, they were thinking you might be thinking of bringing others in before the loan deadline, but that's not on your mind at the moment with your squad as it is.
Like I always said, if I can bring players in that's going to strengthen the squad and improve it, then we'll look at it. But at this moment in time, with the hardest thing is upsetting people for not being on the bench, not being involved. We have got a little bit of quality and depth, and it's difficult picking the bench at the minute.
It's hard to change things, I'm guessing, given the run that you're on. When you've won 3 games and kept 3 clean sheets, it must be hard to really move anything around.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's important we keep this momentum going, and we don't want to upset too many things. Obviously, something's going right at the minute for 3 clean sheets and 3 wins. Confidence is high, and it's important we keep that going.
The chairman has said that he spoke to Steve Parish at Crystal Palace, started talks about keeping Ryan Innes until the end of the season, and from speaking to you on Saturday, I'm guessing you'd more than welcome that decision.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's been tremendous since he's come in. He's a great kid. I've said before that for the 19 years that he is, he shows a lot of experience. He's got a wise head on his shoulders. He's an old-fashioned type centre half. He's a character, great in the changing room. So when you've got somebody with all those attributes that he's got, then it's important we try to keep hold of him, and certainly that's something that we're in dialogue at the minute to try and do. It's
an easy line for anybody to say he's made a difference. From your point of view as manager, how much of a difference has Ryan made in the few weeks that he's been here?
Yeah, he's certainly had an impact on the squad, and I said earlier that when I first took over, when Mickey left, clean sheets was something that I wanted to address, and I think a couple of the first games, Fleetwood was a penalty. Bradford, Yates's free kick, top corner. Teams were having to work really hard to get goals against us. Alright, we didn't keep clean sheets, but there weren't too many teams playing against us and scoring goals in open play. And I just think whether we've taken our eye off the ball a little bit with regards to that and focusing more on the attacking side of it, and we've addressed it the last couple of weeks. We've gone back to basics with regards to how we defend without the ball, working as a unit from front to back. And that's coincided with Ryan coming in and putting all that together. Certainly had an impact in how we're keeping the clean sheets at the minute.
Looking at the Oldham game, what do you want in terms of a crowd? Because you've got 2 Tuesday games this month. There's an offer on for both, and I'm guessing packing Vale Park, as we've seen over the last 18 months, 2 years, it can make a real impact.
Oh, it can, yeah. You've seen the home form since I've taken over as well. The crowd were fantastic on Saturday. Thoroughly enjoyed the last 30 seconds knowing that time was up and listening to the crowd cheer like they did, just short of 1,000 I think, and that they don't realise the impact they have. People like Mashi keeping the ball in the corner for the last couple of minutes with Popey, knowing that you've got 1,000 of your own fans standing 20 yards away from you, geeing you on to do it. It gives you that lift, it gives you that extra incentive to do it, and no different at home. If we can get a great crowd in here, they play an important part.
So your message then for the next few home games is pack the park and back us to try and reach the top 6? Yeah,
definitely, 100%. Yeah, we're taking each game as it comes, and at the minute we're in a rich vein of form, and we want that to continue. And it's a home game tomorrow, and come and have a look, come and see what you think.
I'll get you to say another line apart from one game as it comes,
Not
sooner or later. Just a word on Oldham. We'll take the next game as it comes. The next one is Oldham. What are you expecting from them coming here after a 4-0 defeat at the weekend?
Yeah, knowing Dean Oldham as I do, he's in caretaker charge at the minute. That'll be hurting him. Must be hurting the players. It's his first game in caretaker charge, and to get beat 4-0 by, I must say, a very good Preston team. So we can't take anything, we can't read too much into that. They're going to want to come and give a good account of themselves and have a positive reaction from that defeat. So we've got to be fully prepared for that, which we will be. We'll respect what they're all about, but then ultimately it's our home game. Like I said, we're full of confidence at the minute. We ain't going to rest on that. We want to improve again. We want to keep this momentum going, and it's about what we do. And if we give the level of performance that we have done in the last 3 games, then I'm confident we'll get the win.
Cheers, mate.
All right.
Rob, great starting point. 3 wins, 3 clean sheets to take into the next game and a home game tomorrow night.
Yeah, been really pleased, George, with the boys for the last 3 games. Certainly the last 3 games with the clean sheets, obviously, and the 3 wins. And it's important now we keep that momentum and confidence going and take it into tomorrow's game.
Important to do that, but on Saturday, of course, you scored an early goal and you have to really keep the shape and keep the momentum going for a long spell. How hard is that when you are defending a lead, particularly the fact that 1 goal was the difference?
Yeah, it was a big 1-0 win. I don't think we've had too many, and we've changed our sort of mentality maybe without the ball of recent weeks, and I think that showed on Saturday. I said to the press after the game that for me that was the most complete performance that I saw, and what I meant by that was from an attacking point of view, not only did they do what as I asked, we start fast against a team that was low on confidence and get an early goal, which we did. I thought we kept the ball ever so well. Certainly first half with Freddie and Byron linking really well together because of the way they played, with Paddy McCourt coming in off his shape and playing like a lopsided 4-4-2, and us then having the wide right area to keep the ball. I thought we'd done really well. But then from a defensive point of view, we had bodies thrown on the line, and big headers towards the end with Ryan Innes and Robbo coming into their own the last 5 minutes when you need your experienced players and your big centre halves to come and win headers. I thought they did. So for me, that's what I meant by the overall performance Saturday was exceptional.
People keep talking about certain individuals, but one person that doesn't appear to have been spoken an awful lot about by us, the press, Chris Robertson. He's come in, he's been patient. Sometimes he's been left out of the team early part of the season, not even been on the bench, but he showed what a good professional he is, and when he's got his chance, he's proved his point, hasn't he?
That's right. There'll be many more like him as well, not at this club but at other clubs where they don't really get involved with the squad when I first took over too much, but fair's fair. They've been given the jersey, given an opportunity, and he's taken it with both hands. And I think certainly since Ryan's come in as well, has brought him on a little bit more, in my opinion. I think it's certainly helped him, and he goes unnoticed sometimes, Robbo. He just gets on with his work, and at the moment he's doing well.
Obviously, you said a team low in confidence on Saturday. Certainly a team coming here tomorrow night are low in confidence after maybe the result on Saturday and changing management as well. You've got to hit them when they're down and wrong.
Yeah, we're not going to we won't allow our level of performance to drop any lower than what we've set at the minute. We've set a benchmark now the last 3 performances, and it's important that we can control that so we keep that level of performance. We know we're up against a team that's, like you said, they've had a disappointing result on Saturday, so they'll be our guard will be up because they'll be wanting a positive reaction from that. So it's important that we prepare right, that we give the level of performance we have the 3 games, and if we do that, I'm confident we'll get the win.
Dean Holden, as you say, taking charge. Will they want to prove a point to him, and will he want them to prove a point in case he feels there's a chance for him to get the job?
Yeah, of course he'll be working hard because he'll want to give a good account of himself. And certainly from a player's point of view, when your manager's left and there's talk of other managers coming in, you never know who's watching. So from their point of view, I'm sure they'll be up for the test. But from our point of view, we've got a job to do as well. You're
surprised the way the league is fluctuating at this late stage in the season? All right, we think the top 3 maybe done and dusted, but underneath that, there's such a fluctuating situation with teams, including yourself, where results turn each and every week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's been a few well, I say shock results over recent weeks with the bottom 3 or 4 getting great results away from home against some of the top 6 teams, which has surprised a few people. But that's how this division's panning out at the minute. It's so tight from the bottom to that last playoff place that if you manage to get a run of games together, that can be the difference of being just outside the playoffs, like we find ourselves in now at the minute, 3 points off. But it can work the other way. You have a bit of a blip, you're looking over your shoulder. So it's important that we keep that consistency going. We've got it going at the minute, and it's important we keep that momentum going and take it into the game tomorrow.
Are you keeping the lid on any talk of top 6 then, or promotion?
No, we haven't done all season, and we're certainly not going to start doing it now. We find ourselves in a lovely position at this stage of the season. We're full of confidence, but we're just worried about tomorrow's game, and 3 points in the bag.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Getting 3. It's about taking each game as it comes, George, and getting the wins. And like I said, we're building something here now. We've done it for 3 games, and we'll set ourselves individual targets, but game by game as well.
You've let the 2 players go back, and what was your thinking behind that? Tommy O'Sullivan, of course, and Greg Lua. I mean, obviously they came here, didn't get too much of a chance, but obviously talented, but you've allowed them to go back. Is that because you're happy with the squad, or you feel you might want to tweak it somewhere before the deadline comes?
Well, I think with what we had available to us with regards to resources, I think Tommy I brought in as a Dodds-like player, and Greg was more of a Ben Williamson. 2 players that were in great form going before they both got injured, and I needed some sort of cover for those 2 positions because they're 2 big players to miss out on. So bringing Greg in was a bit of not so much of a gamble, but 2 months before he's playing non-league football, he's had a whirlwind couple of months with signing for Hull and then coming out on loan to League One and finding himself playing against the best in the division in Bristol City. So a great couple of months for him, and a great learning curve, and certainly he'll have learned and benefited from being with us. Tommy, like I said, is a Dodds-like player who can play in that sort of position just behind the front man. Got a great football brain. I knew of him from working with him with the Welsh under 21s, and somebody I knew, if needed to go on at any stage of the game like he did at Walsall, will have a positive impact. And I thought he kept the ball really well for us when we were under pressure at the vital stage of the game for that last 15 minutes, whatever it was. But now we've got a full fit squad in Dodgy coming back, Ben Williamson, Colin Daniels back to fitness. To be fair to those lads as well, I don't want to keep them and make false promises that they might not be involved in the squad, so it's only fair that they go back to their parent club.
You having dialogue with Crystal Palace about Ryan, how important is it for him and for you to keep him till the end of the season, because he's put himself in the market, hasn't he, really, and obviously on show, and there are probably other people aware of his ability, aren't there?
Well, Ryan was a different case because he was somebody that I knew was going to come straight into the team as opposed to the other 2. We needed to change something, and that was an area that I knew I could bring him in and throw him straight into the lion's den, so to speak. And it's important that we keep this momentum going. To do that, he's a big part of it. So we'll be doing our very best now to extend it.
Do you expect to sign, seal, and deliver it before it comes to the deadline?
Yeah, we'd like to. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there then, push on a little bit further in many ways. What about your own thoughts in terms of what you got available this week, in terms of players available? Any problems from Saturday, for instance?
No, nothing from Saturday. And Col, it was a bit too soon for Col on Saturday, but he's looked really bright in training today, and so he'll be back involved. No other injuries from Saturday.
So you're happy then with everything, the way it's shaping up then, terms, numbers, and you're not thinking of taking any further loans?
At this moment in time, no. It's we don't want to change too much. We're on a good little run ourselves at the minute, and we want that to continue. But I've always said if there's an opportunity to bring somebody in to improve the team, improve the squad, and have a positive impact, then we'll do it. But at this moment in time, there's no obvious ones now.
Please. Okay.
All right.
That's great for me as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, Rob.
You ain't ever gonna